Welcome back to NC State Dendrology. I'm coming to you today on this lovely, cool morning from the Cove Forest at the base of the Profile Trail at Grandfather Mountain State Park. This is in western North Carolina in Watauga County. And the tree I want to talk about is behind me. You can see multiple large stems, and this is a very typical indicator species of rich cove forests here in the southern Appalachians. So this is basswood. Tilia americana is the scientific name, and it's in the Tiliaceae family, or the Tilia family. And one thing, so I don't have a lot of leaves with me right down low, and so I'm going to talk a little bit about the leaves and how to identify them. But really, when you're walking through the forest in a mature cove hardwood like this, you're going to see these multiple stems, and this is really indicative of basswood. So basswood has this furrowed bark. It is, it has some vertical lines on it. It's a little bit on the flaky side, and it has this great stump sprouting ability, which gives it a competitive advantage in cove forests like this. So cove hardwood forests in the southern Appalachians are incredibly diverse, rich circumneutral soils, and so in order to be competitive, this species does a lot of stump sprouting, right? And so if something were to happen with this tree, there's some small stems like this one, and this smooth barked one behind me, right? So these little stems are sprouting from the base. It's already got a root system to perch on, and so that already gives it a head start. So it might win the race to the canopy if something was to fall down, as might be in these mature forests. So let's talk a little bit about the leaves. So basswood it's just leafing out, right? So the green leaves are going to be really small. It has these cute little, almost translucent, heart-shaped leaves, and they are serrate. I've got one that's a little bit larger, and so you can see that they have fine serrations on them. One thing that's a little bit harder to see is the leaf base is a little bit oblique, so it's not symmetrical. And I want to show you a mature leaf because this is the size that they get, right? So this is from last year that's fallen off, and you can see that this leaf is not, it's only barely got that cordate heart-shaped base, but you can see it is not quite symmetrical, right? I've got more leaf tissue on this side of the main midrib than this side, right? But generally speaking, basswood has these large heart-shaped leaves, right? But sometimes they're a little bit hard to find. They have really cool fruits that are a little umbel that are attached to a little bract that helps it spiral out. You can see on the channel I took some fruits in the mountains in the fall and dropped them off the bridge to watch them spiral down. But anyway, basswood is a pretty readily identifiable species, especially as you're walking along in the forest. I spotted this multi-stem trunk, and figured with this bark being, a little bit ridged, but also kind of these vertical ridges and also a little bit flaky, light in color, right? When it's young, it's pretty smooth, and looked for those heart-shaped leaves that are a little bit asymmetrical, and that's basswood, Tilia americana.